If you had a motivational quote for Friday, what would it be? For all those people out there, Friday, to not go and waste their weekend, what would you say?
Think about where you are now. Think about where you want to be 5 years from now, and keep that goal in your mind. You're never going to get there if you're not working 200% harder than everybody else, right? So if you're grinding on the weekend while everyone else is out partying, just know that even though that feels kind of lonely, you're going to be making buco bucks while they're still going to be partying and doing nothing with their life.
Well said. Good morning, everybody. Got my morning coffee here. It's good stuff. Just wakes you right up. I just realized that most code boot camps will be done by now. Most code boot camps are like 3 months, and he's not even halfway. He doesn't finish until March. So that's what I'm going to name the title of this video. As you guys know, every Friday I do a video with Patrick. Patrick is a full stack web development Lambda School student. I've been following him since the very beginning, and I'm shadowing him every week until he finishes, until he goes to Lambda next, until he gets a job, and then we'll follow up even then. Because I want to know what he's learning, his thoughts, his opinions, all that. If you want to know what Lambda School is, you can go check out my previous videos, but in a nutshell, it's an income share agreement, full stack, code boot camp. They have UI, UX, machine learning, web development, and you pay nothing until you get a job making $50,000 or more using the skills that you learned there. So if you go get a job as a car salesman after this, you don't have to pay anything, but $50,000 or more using the skills that you went for, or you don't pay anything, right? And then you pay 17% of your income back over the course of 2 years, up to a maximum of $30,000. If you want more details, more opinions, more different videos, you can go check out my previous videos. I have a whole series of them, and I'm gonna keep making these videos. By the way, if you're interested in Lambda School, there's a link in the description down below. If you use that link, you'll get $250 when you graduate, and you guys help support the channel. So I'd appreciate that. If you're interested in it, use that link. Really helps out. We have a Discord. Link for that is in the description. If you like these videos, hit that little subscribe button, hit that like button, leave a comment down below. Let me know what you guys think. Leave questions for Patrick, because in the next video next week, we're gonna be answering all your questions that you could have about Lambda School. I get questions as comments in older videos, and I answer them the best I can, but Patrick is more qualified to answer those questions. So leave a whole bunch of questions for Patrick. Press F to pay respects. Shout out to all the patrons that support the channel. I appreciate all you guys. I have one. If you're interested in helping some guy on the internet help you guys out, go check it out. Other than that, enjoy this video, and I'll see you in the next one. What's going on, YouTube? Over energetic introduction. This is Patrick. You guys know Patrick. Patrick, what's up, dude? Today we're gonna mix things up. We're gonna do a day in the life walk through of what it's like. Well, actually, hold on. Let's back up. Was it difficult?
No, not necessarily. The thing with authentication is, like, it's one of those things where there's a whole profession built around it. So what we were learning was like just barely scraping the surface of, barely the tip of the iceberg, right? So sessions, I would say, was pretty interesting. I mean, between both sessions and tokens, though, it wasn't really necessarily like a lot of code to write. It was just a couple of lines and things you have to look out for and little nuances. Otherwise, it wasn't much more difficult than just implementing the database itself.
I think they probably taught you enough so that when someone is like, "Hey, can you go do that thing for us?" and you're like, "Hey, I have heard of that before. They taught me that," and then you'll be good. Yeah, it's like database design. Like, that's some guy's job, to do database design and like manage the databases.
The one thing that they tell us that we should be looking towards doing is, if we're ever in a situation where we're writing authentication for something, 9 times out of 10 we're going to be using third parties for it, because they're just much more specialized and prepared for it than we are.
What was the project today?
So the project today was just creating a database from scratch using Next and migrations. That you're able to register a user and log in as that user, and then if you're logged in, using middleware to check if that token is a valid token, and if it is, then they have access to specific groups.
What did you write that front end portion in?
I didn't do a front, so there was no front end portion. It was all purely back end, like it is with Postman.
That makes sense. And we have to know, did you get a 3?
So I got a 2, which is just doing MVP because I didn't do the stretch. But I did do a front end portion of exactly what we were doing today 2 days ago. So I have that up and ready if anyone wants to ever see that. This is very bare bones. I didn't really go too much into it. So here we have our homepage, right? And then you can click and it goes to the register. And so say I typed my name as Magoob and then my password as 12123455. So the thing that's happening on this part here is this is going to get hashed 15 times using bcrypt and then stored into the database. Since I'm logged in, I can now see all the users who are in here. Dongo, Superman, Wingo, Dick.
So section 2 of this interview today is walk us through a day in your life. Tell us, what do you do when do you wake up? What time do you wake up?
So typically my Sunday night is I'm going to bed at about 9 p.m. Like I even tell you, Josh, will be doing something. I'll be like, hey, I got to go to bed.
I know.
All right, that's right. And so I'm in bed typically 9:15 and I'm out by 9:30, depending. And so I'll wake up and it'll be about 6 a.m. I have an alarm for 6 a.m. I get up, I go take a shower, I make breakfast for the kids if they're here. And then I'll go take the dog for a walk. And then by the time that's all done, I'm usually back by 7:15. And then I post in the Slack channel saying like, oh, hey, good morning, everybody. And everybody says good morning, etc. And then they give us our code challenge around 7:30, 7:20, depends. Kind of warms my brain up for the morning. And then I go on lunch and it's my own thing, right? Like where I'm just doing my own stuff. And then when we come back from lunch, it's about 12 o'clock. And then that's when I just kind of get to work on what the project is for the day. And so the project would be in our Lambda toolkit.
Can we see that? Yeah, we've never really taken a dive into the toolkit, but this is where you see all the curriculum that you're going to do for the whole course, right? And I know that they're always changing it up, keeping it modern.
So this is what you come to. It's learn.lambdaschool.com. And I go in here and you hit curriculum. And so if you don't have a login or anything, you can see like the intro pre-course work. But this is the part that I come to. For instance, we did authentication this week. So today I would have gone, or well, not today, but like Monday through Thursday, I would click on authentication. I have my stuff saved and I sign in. And then, you come to like, depending, so this would be like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then Thursday. So say yesterday we were doing client-side authentication. Say I wanted to go see where the repo was for the stuff we're supposed to work on after lunch. I'd click on here. I'd go to the guided project.
And so then you'd follow the instructions through there. And then after that?
So after I'm done with the project for the day, I'm either doing the stretch for it, or if I finish the stretch for the project, I'll go take a walk, go take the dog out for one more walk before my mother gets home, and then we cook dinner or whatever, and then we have stand up around 4:15. After stand up, I'm basically doing whatever. I'm usually either studying more stuff that I want to look into, like Angular, and right now I'm actually looking at Vue. And then on the weekends, if I kind of just practice more stuff. So for instance, I'm doing a project for a friend who does photography, and I'm building him a website using React, where he'll be able to. He has like a jumbotron on his main page that'll show some high profile photos of his that he can choose, and then you have like a pictures navigation, right? You can go to, and there'll be like a CSS grid of just his pictures.
It's pretty custom. Yeah, but that's cool from scratch. Like you could have opted for WordPress, but you didn't, doing it from scratch. Is it intense? Is it as intense as the first weeks, or more intense, less intense, winding up, winding down?
I think it's like a lot of things. Is the first couple of weeks are kind of a shock if you're not used to that kind of fast-paced environment. Fourth or fifth week, you're just kind of like so used to it. Like even on the weekends now, ever since like the fifth week, I'm waking up at 6 a.m. thinking I have to get up. And because I don't have an alarm set for the weekend, so I just still wake up at 6 a.m. And I'm like, oh yeah, it's Saturday.
Sounds complicated. You're already... If we had a code off, you would win. 100%. Maybe not in the front end section, but back end, I'm out.